What's going on, guys? So in this episode, I want to talk about self-development. Big topic of mine. I find it really interesting, actually, to self-develop. And I sort of put together this list of 5 areas of self-development for Catholic men that sometimes get missed. I think Catholic men, just Catholics in general, maybe Christians in general, have a tendency to hyper-focus on the spiritual side of things, which is important. That's the most important thing, right? Our spiritual life. But sometimes we forget about some of the other areas that play a big role. They play a big role in evangelization and like our happiness in the world. So let's talk about it. We're not one-dimensional. And let's just be frank, our family wants us to be multi-dimensional as well. So let's get into it. So the 5, I'll kind of go through one on each list, or I'll go through the list one at a time. And the first one I want to talk about is economic. So self-developing in economics, or money, as we'll call it. Now, sometimes this gets to be a weird conversation with Catholics because, as we know, a lot of the church fathers were against money. They almost said, Tertullian, St. Basil, a lot of the guys said basically the goal is to get rid of as much wealth and property as possible. Now, I don't think it's wrong to have money, especially in a capitalist society. If we want to provide for our family, we got to have money. So what I recommend is getting money, not for the sake of the money, but doing it so you're financially free. So that's the goal. Now, I want to go over some misconceptions we have about money. And basically my goal in this is going to be able to get you to leave with the right belief systems about money so that you're not destined to work a menial job, work the same job for 30 years, retire, and be like, dang, is this all the money I had? Okay. So here's the biggest misconception I see my clients and people in general having about money, which is this. You're not paid for your time that you work. You're paid for the value you give to the market, which means if you want more money, the goal is not to work more. The goal is to become more valuable, okay? It's not to work more. It's to become more valuable. Obviously, if you work more, you probably will make more money. But the goal should be increasing your value to the market. So what does that mean? What does it mean if you're valuable to the market? Very simply, it just means that you solve bigger and more complex problems for the market. Okay, busboys don't make very much money because the problem solved by a busboy can be solved by a lot of people. So the value of a busboy is not that high. Of course, the busboy is valuable in the eyes of God, great family member, to all these people, he's very valuable. But in the eyes of the market, not valuable. Which means, the goal isn't maybe to strive for a ton of money. If that's not your calling, don't do that. But let's say you're going to work 8 hours anyway. You might as well make more money while you do it and just make yourself more valuable. Because the more money you have, the more opportunities you can give your children. The more of a college fund you can have. And honestly, in this day and age, the more you can not succumb to the left. The more you can not succumb to the woke culture. Think of how burdened so many people are by money that they're forced to work for a woke company. Their company celebrates Pride Night. And they're like, well, I'm not skilled in the market. I'm kind of forced in this job. I have to work here. So go ahead, trample on my values. There's nothing I'll say. We don't want that. So if you want more money, it's not up to the company and it's not up to the market. It's up to you to develop yourself, which means I want you to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Work hard on your job, but work harder on yourself. Okay? Got a quick question here. How do you build passive income and not trade time and money? So you're going to trade time in the beginning to build your income because you have to develop a skill set and probably your mindset and probably better habits. That takes time, but it's an investment so that you have more time in the future because you can buy back your time because you're higher valued. I don't really believe in passive income. I think it's silly. The idea that you can just make money passively is maybe something you do when you're older and you have maybe you're a decamillionaire or a centimillionaire. But right now, the goal is not to build passive income. The goal is to do one thing really, really, really well and be an expert at it, and then wealth comes. So passive income, I'm not the man for that. I don't like it. And it's only something, so basically, it's kind of a side tangent, we'll come back. But basically the goal, poor people, I'm not saying you're poor, but maybe middle class, poor people, the general population has kind of a misconception about wealth, which is you want to have all these different streams of income. And you want to keep going and have this path and this path. But no rich person would tell you that that's how you're going to make all your money. A rich person is going to say get really good at one thing Learn how to market and sell that one thing. Become an expert at it, or if you're an employee, become an expert at that position, give a lot of value to your company, and then you're going to have massive increases in income. And once you're doing that thing to the point of where your cup is full, then you'll start to like spill over into other areas and you can start developing passive income. But don't jump shit. Don't put the cart before the horse. Become an expert at something, master it, and have the big income. And then you can start to develop passive income. Okay? Hope that was helpful, Doctor. I think it was Dr. Frank. But anyway, back to the central point. If you guys take nothing away from this episode, I want you to remember that it's not about how many hours you work. We can think of the construction worker who said, I worked 18-hour days, but he's still probably making $4,000 a month, and all that time away from his family. Guys, remember, we're called as Catholic men to spend time with our family, to be good fathers. That requires time. Okay, now you can say like, well, I have to work all these hours. That's what a good Catholic man does. No, I would push back. I would say a good Catholic man figures out how to get the most output for his little input so he can spend his time accordingly to what he wants to do. And that requires high value. But that's great. We have the internet. You can always increase your skills. No one taught me, I wasn't born knowing how to make content. I wasn't born knowing how to coach. I had the internet. And now I'm way more skilled. So the value is greater. Income is greater. See how that works? Okay. That's the big misconception about value that I see in men who haven't self-developed. Okay. Number 2. You guys liking this? Is this helpful? That changed my life when I started thinking like that. I remember really quick story, and then we'll get into point 2. I remember working at a law firm when I was like going to law school and doing like the legal side of life. And I remember making a certain amount of money and just thinking like, man, I really feel like I deserve more money, but nothing I can do. This is what the paycheck is. Whereas now, as an employer, I know the mindset of like an employer, it's all about value. If someone came to me and said, hey, Joe, I actually think I can make us more money by doing X, Y, Z, and I actually think I'm a good fit for that, and I'm actually doing ABC right now. I think I deserve more money. What do you think? I'd be like, oh, okay, that checks out, because it's all about value. Paycheck wasn't set back then. I just didn't know what I was doing. Okay, so anyway, something to keep in mind. That'll change your life. Number 2, attitude. So there was a very rich man who once said, very, very rich. He's only in his 30s too. And he's worth like $400 million. Insane. And he said, if the only thing you ever did was just read How to Win Friends and Influence People every night and master it, you'd be wildly successful. So for those that don't know, How to Win Friends and Influence People is the book written on mastering human relations, how to communicate with other people, how to show up positively in a social situation. Arguably the greatest book ever written, maybe apart from the Bible, in my opinion. But it's great. Mastering human relations. Find me something more important than that. Teaches you how not to critique, how not to complain. So anyway, the point is, with that quote from that rich guy, is your attitude on how you present yourself to others and talk to others is everything, okay? Not only from like an evangelizing standpoint where you're like influential because you're positive and they feel your positive energy, which is all true. But for your success in life, you're only hurting yourself if you go around mopey or even at least like monotone and kind of like, oh, hey, what's up? How many guys do we know? Yeah, I'm glad you bought that book, Brian. It's phenomenal. How many guys do you know that kind of have this like monotone, like, yeah, I guess, like, I don't know. What's up, dude? How's your day going? It's fine, I guess. Like, I know a lot of Catholic guys like that. I know a lot of just people in general that are just like that monotone, like, yeah, what's up, dude? And they don't seem to have any like passion or fire. Their voice doesn't even fluctuate. Do you think those are the types of people that become wildly successful in all their dreams and ambitions? Probably not. Do you think they attract other people and, good opportunities and luck? Probably not. It just doesn't seem to mesh, and it doesn't, right? Most people that are like joyful and positive and always make people feel comfortable, those are the ones that become wildly successful. And I want you guys to be wildly successful. You all have dreams that God put on your heart. You want to achieve them. Some of you are meant to be great painters or sculptors or software coders. I want you to achieve the things that you dream of because that was given to you for you to do. But if you walk around mopey and sad, at the end of the day, if you walk around, you're going to get what you give off. And so if you want positivity and success and appreciation and inspiration, you have to give that off. Okay? So I see that lacking a lot. If I go to sometimes if I go to like a young adult group, I mean, some are really good. Some of the guys I know are really good. But sometimes I'll meet a guy, really quiet, really monotone, doesn't look you in the eye. It's like, dang, bro. It hurts me because I'm not having fun in the conversation, but it's hurting you more. It's going to be a tough road ahead because you're so monotone, you hate your life. And maybe you don't hate your life, but you seem like it, right? You're like, hey, what's up, dude? And that's not going to benefit you in life. So point number 2, have good energy when you talk to people. Positivity. It'll attract others, but it'll attract good opportunities too. Make your life easier. You won't be walking uphill so much. Okay? Oh shit, Gabe Weir. What's up, dude? Been a minute. All right, point 3. This is huge. Planning. So I can't even stress enough how important it is to plan your life. Okay, maybe you don't know everything, but at least a plan for tomorrow or for the month or for the year. A lot of guys don't do this. You can't drift to the top of a mountain, okay? Those that fail to plan to fail. Okay, there's a lot of one-liners about how detrimental it is to your life if you don't set goals and have a legitimate plan. So for example, I'll talk about my own life. I'm obsessive about my goals. I'm obsessive about everything that I want. It's all laid out. Business goals, personal goals, everything. For the week, for the month, for the year, for 3 years, and then for 25 years. And you might say, like, that's insane. I don't even know what I want in 25 years. I bet you haven't sat down and thought about it. I have. Billionaires have. Super successful sports athletes have. You think Kobe Bryant didn't sit down one day and think, like, I know exactly what I want in 10 years, and I'm going to work for it? Of course he did. Black Mamba? Of course he did. So I want to see how do you guys. I would recommend, this is what my clients do. I say have a vision, like a big vision, like a 25-year vision, even if you don't have all the details, but you definitely want something in your health, in your wealth, and in your relationships. And then maybe something with your spirituality too, hopefully. So for me, it's like, my whole family is spread out across the nation. One of my big dreams when I'm 25-year vision, so 52? Yeah, 52, would be having my whole family together in one area, like even a family compound or something, because in my dream I'm like wealthy. So like having a family compound and everyone's near me, because I never get to see anyone. So that's really important to me. And what I do is I have a vision board and I get to look at a picture of a family eating together. Just strangers, like a stock photo, but I know what it means. And I get to look at that every day. And so I know what path I'm on, at least in the relationships area. And I have a picture of like a 55-year-old man who's thin, because I want to be fit when I'm older. So anyway, have your big vision. And then I want you to have a mini vision, usually 6 months. So right now it's July. What's your goal by Christmas? It's a pretty good one. Something in your wealth, something in your health, something in your relationships. Those are the 3 main areas: health, wealth, relationships. I have those all laid out. And then I have goals for the month. So it's July, it's a new month. I have goals personally, I have goals business-wise, and then I have goals for the week that get me to my monthly goals, okay? So obviously you see like the funnel coming here, okay? The reason for this is because we will achieve what our mind focuses on. It's crazy. It's like this crazy thing about the universe. I don't get it. It's above my pay grade, but you get what you focus on. And unless you set goals, things are going to be fuzzy, and it's hard to hit a fuzzy target. But if you get really clear on what you want and you see it every day and you think about it all the time, you're going to get it. Okay? So I tell my clients that want to lose a lot of weight, I have them write their goal weight on a piece of paper, and they have to paste it on their bathroom mirror. They have to put another note card on their nightstand, and they have to put one in their office. They have to see it all the time, because you're going to become what you think about. You guys that struggle with porn, how often do you think about it? I bet you think about it a lot. You know how I quit pornography 4 years ago? As soon as I felt a thought creeping in, I said, nope, I'm not thinking about that. That's how you quit porn. You become what you think about. Think about Jesus all day, that'd be pretty good. You become pretty pious. Okay? So, planning. Plan your life. Plan it down to specific details. Get crystal clear. Okay, I know how much money I want in my bank account when I'm 52. Can anyone else say that? Get really specific on what you want. Okay? All right, number 4. Ooh, this one's super good. What a great list. Who made this list? All right, number 4, coachability. One of the things that will keep you down, I would say, keep you from progressing in life, is your inability to be coached by people farther ahead of you. So, confidence is inversely proportional to ego. So the more prideful you are, the more of an ego you have, the less actually true the less confident you are, okay? And when you're really confident, you actually have a lot of humility. You know what you don't know, you're comfortable in yourself, you're okay with being wrong. So the goal is to become extremely confident. That comes from daily disciplines, stacking daily wins. So like the habits that I always talk about. That's why it's important to track your habits. It'll develop confidence. But anyway, once you get the confidence, you're going to become humble. And then once you're humble, you're able to be coached, okay? So there's someone very close to me in my life who has so much potential, but he thinks he's the smartest person ever. And so it's very difficult for him to ever change. So it's sad. It's like you have so much potential, but it's clear that someone's farther ahead of you. Listen to them and you'll skyrocket your progress, okay? I would say that's probably been one of the biggest benefits to me in my success so far, is first off, I discern if someone's ahead of me. So first off, my framework is the best person to take advice from in an area is a person who has taken people like me to the goal I'm trying to get to in that area. So it's like, if I wanted to lose 10 pounds for the summer, I would find someone who has helped a bunch of young men lose 10 pounds by summer, and then I would obsessively follow them and do everything they say. Because that's reasonable. It's reasonable that if I listen to, and it happened for all these people like me, it'll happen for me too. Thanks so much, Father Fleming. Appreciate it. So, coachability. How coachable are you? Oh, so anyway, wait, before, don't change thoughts here. Okay, so that's the first step in the framework, is like find someone who has taken others to where you want to be. And then you're probably going to have to like invest in them, something. Maybe they have a free community, something. Maybe they have a program. You want to go to them, be part of them. And then you want to be coached by them and listen and be like, okay, tell me everything. And then have the humility to say, this person's farther along than me in this at least one area, this one lane. So I'm going to listen to them, and then it's going to time collapse how quickly I'm going to get to my goal, because I get to learn from their mistakes. That's really what we're doing in life when we like seek mentorship, is we're buying learning other people's mistakes. You know? Like the guy I learned content from, he'd been coaching for like 7 years. And he was like, this is what I've learned about online fitness coaching. Like, let me teach you everything. It's like, great, that saves me 7 years. Hot dog, of course I'll buy your program. That's what I want you guys to do. Always trade money for time, always. Because that's the one commodity we have finite. You can always make more money, especially when you develop your skills. Money doesn't become an issue anymore as you grow your skill set in a capitalist society. Always trade money for time. Get your time back, right? Okay, anyway, planning, or coachability, very important. Be coachable. Number 5. This one's really important. You guys ready for the last one? Number 5 is urgency. So this one is not one, there's a reason I left it at number 5, is it's not one you typically think of, but it's so important. A lot of people don't have a sense of urgency in their life, and so they're slow to change. And that's sad, because you're not fulfilling your potential if you're slow to change. And usually, super successful people have a strong sense of urgency. They want things done now. They set goals quickly. They achieve the goals quickly. There's a plan of attack. We execute. Okay? It's the people who aren't self-developed, the people who are struggling, that are like, yeah, I'll get to that this year, hopefully. There was another rich person. I listen to a lot of rich people. Not because I love money. Loving money is the root of all evil. But because I just have big dreams. But anyway, He said once, he said, someone in my company once asked me, I asked him to do something. He said, I'll get it to you by the end of the week. He's like, what's stopping you from getting it done today? And he's like, honestly, I don't know. That seems quick. And the owner was like, yeah, but just do it. You got this. And he got it done that day. So just a mindset shift is really what urgency is. Just a mindset shift to say like, wow, maybe I want to save $50,000 for a house. Let's get to that by 2027. That's your initial goal. But then you change it to be like, no, let's get to it by the end of 2024. Like, how can I save 50 grand by the end of 2024? Is it even possible? It's got to be possible. How do I do it? And you start developing this urgency and you're like, let's make it quick. Let's change things. Let's move quicker. That's going to progress you forward. The other big reason, not only does it like get you to your goals quicker, people feel urgency. It's exciting. It's inspiring. Yes, Father, urgency recognizes the time is limited because it is. It's the only commodity that is finite, which means if you're wasting time, what does that say about you and how much you care about your time? What you think of what's important. Now, anyway, what I was saying was that when you have a sense of urgency in your life, you're not hectic, running around like a chicken with your head cut off, but like you take your time seriously, people feel that. They're like, oh, this guy is serious. He respects his time. He has goals. He's driven. He's got stuff to do. And it makes your life easier. You attract better people. You attract opportunity, yada, yada. Climb the ladder easier. Okay? So, economic problems. Money. Remember, and we'll go over a quick summary. Remember that you get paid for the value you bring to the marketplace, not for how many hours you work. Always remember, increase your value. It will save you time in life. Number 2, have a positive attitude. Always. Number 3, plan your life. Plan your vision, plan your goals, everything. Number 4, be coachable. Have the humility to be coachable. And number 5, have a sense of urgency in life. It will change everything and make everything so much easier. Okay? So yeah, these were just 5 areas I wanted to touch on that were coming up a lot lately for me, and so I wanted to share my thoughts on them with you. So I hope you guys got value. If you did, drop a like. And I'll post this video on YouTube as well because I got the video going as well. So thanks so much, guys. Have a great rest of your night. God bless.